GreatDrams, today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm here again with Fraser Campbell, global brand ambassador for Dewars, and we're looking to, well, we're going to find out from you at the end. You're going to post some responses to us, but it's all about convenience store gourmet. And so Fraser sent me a challenge. He said, look, I've got 3 amazing whiskies. What would you pair with them? And so, whilst wandering the aisles of our local co-op here in Poynton, as Fraser will tell you in a sec, these are all really smooth whiskies. So thought, what else is smooth that we can have a play about with? Cheese. And what better cheese than these 3 absolute gems that I've chosen here.
So Greg, what are we looking at exactly from the cheese aisle? What is the co-op got on offer?
Well, this is the thing. There's obviously lots of different options, from gorgeous mozzarella to gorgonzola to a really nice local number as well, and a couple of red Leicesters and cheddars.
Yeah, nice.
So I ignored them and went with Dairy Lee, Baby Bell, and Co-op's own brand plastic flat cheese.
I mean, I don't think you really could have picked a smoother trio of cheeses.
And that was the goal. Smooth whiskey deserves a smooth cheese to be paired with it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, more rubbery than lovely, but definitely I think we're gonna have some fun pairings up today.
And that's it. And it was one of those things that I think you'll be shocked with our pairings today.
I can't wait to get stuck in and see what happens.
Shall we
phone the ambulance now?
Yeah. Right. So the first cheese we have. Recognisable from the Laughing Cow on the label. It is, of course, Dairy Lee Light, just to be clear for when you're trying this at home. Comes in this gorgeous, iconic triangle.
It's kind of like the pieces of Trivial Pursuit, like the little triangles.
It is. I wonder what trivia is going to be held within this cheese. But if I cut you off half a triangle, sir.
Beautiful.
Elegantly done.
It's almost like a brie in its creaminess.
And I don't know how best to serve
I'm just going to put it in my hand like that.
That's fine.
I mean, there's no point in trying to be fancy about this. We're just going to have to...
Well, yeah. But we should also show the cheese some level of respect. Because it has clearly been thought through. And it even wobbles.
I mean...
Are you seeing why I chose this one?
The way that it coats your mouth,
yes,
and like never leaves. It's almost like a relative. It's almost like a relative that comes to visit for like a few days but stays for a month.
Yeah, I do think we're going to experience this for a long time.
Yeah.
And that was the one that I thought would go best with Dewars White Label.
I mean, you could actually use that as a sealant, to do your pipes. You could actually like.
Or some grouting.
Some grouting.
Yeah.
If you're grouting about. Okay, so what we're going to do, obviously, I mean the colour of this cheese itself is actually very white, which is fantastic because we're going to pair this with Dewars White Label. This is our signature house blend, which has been around since 1899. Obviously, straight off the bat on the nose there, some lush honey notes. Some fresh pear.
And that lovely vanilla character. I think, if I'm brutally honest, I do think the cheese is amplifying that.
I think so as well. I mean, I really can't wait to drink this whiskey just to sort of almost...
burn the cheese away.
Almost just glaze over the cheese in my mouth. But that smoothness of Dewars and the extra smoothness of the cheese
and the creaminess as well,
sort of binding together,
yeah,
and really sort of creating quite a unique texture.
And it's quite impressive actually how Dewars White Label cuts through it and almost says, forget about this cheese.
Yeah,
well, you shouldn't, because it was a momentous.
I mean, I don't think I'll ever forget that cheese.
And rightly so. And rightly so, because it has its place.
I guess that's why it's called the Laughing Cows, because the cow always has the last laugh.
Laughing at us.
He is.
Yeah, and feel free to. We've got some great garnishes there if you do fancy adding those to your cheese selection.
Just sort of resetting the palate.
Yeah.
Do you want to split this one in half, or?
I'm good actually.
Okay.
I'm good. I like the purity of the Laughing Cow. Do you want to talk us through the next whiskey?
Yeah.
We'll try that and then the cheese with it.
So this is the next up in the family. This is our Dewars 12 years old, which was originally called the Victoria Vat back at the start of the 20th century. It then sort of transformed into the Ancestor in the 1950s, and then since then it's become Dewars 12. This is the first of our Dewars expression, which is double aged.
Sure.
By double aging, we mean we take our blend of single malt and grain whiskies, we put it back into an exhausted oak cask for up to 6 months, which marries all of our whiskies together. It's very, very smooth and very rounded, which is why I think we've gone with Baby Bell.
Yeah, and Baby Bell for me, it kind of typifies the childhood of many a person. Although I actually didn't try Baby Bell until we had a child. I'd never tried it before.
Is that right? Is that because you had a baby and you thought, well, I think I should try some Baby Bell?
Yeah, it's almost as if they were talking to me with their name.
I think so, yeah. It's like subliminal messaging, like you've had a baby, what cheese do I want to have next?
Exactly. and also, for me, the red does just catch out that 12 as well. And it's a nice kind of
And you're also a Liverpool fan, right?
I am.
So red is that's probably the big selling point. It kind of looks like the Liverpool strip a little bit as well.
It is the official cheese of Liverpool Football Club. and wax sealed, which everyone likes a wax seal when it comes to whiskey.
This would be a particular favourite of Mr. Miyagi, sort of wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. And also it's excessively packaged, which I don't necessarily think it needs to be.
It's got a very nice sort of almost marzipan texture about it, quite crumbly, but
I bet it would bounce.
We can certainly try.
We can try. And that's it. You've tried the. For this one especially, I'd recommend trying it with the Dewars 12 at the same time.
Do you think when pairing gourmet convenience store food with whiskey, it's better as an afterthought, or do you use it to sort of prepare your mouth in advance?
I like to mix it up. Sometimes have the cheese first and then the whiskey, but then sometimes together. So holding some of the cheese in your mouth, then just try it almost the whiskey through the cheese.
Yeah. Wow. That's actually amplified some chocolatey notes that I hadn't previously discovered in Dewars 12.
And for me, it's brought up a slightly smoky character that I didn't expect at all, actually. I'm definitely feeling this pairing versus the first.
I think so. I think the creaminess of the Laughing Cow was almost too much.
Yeah.
Like, there was no room for the whiskey to permeate your taste buds.
Yeah. And I think the way it coated everything in sight and wanted to stay there didn't help either. Whereas you needed white label to just tear that thing away.
Whereas I think with the Baby Bell, it's got the creaminess, but it's also not so gloopy.
Yeah.
That it clings to your taste buds.
Texture-wise, I think it works quite nicely. Together, they feel like a decent little pairing.
I would say this is a more independent cheese. It's less cloying.
Yeah.
Less clingy.
Yes.
It kind of stands on its own 2 feet.
Yeah. It's definitely got something a bit more interesting about it.
Beautiful.
Would you like to introduce our last whiskey?
Yeah, so next up from Dewars 12, we've got our Dewars 15, which was released back in 2014. This is the handiwork of Stephanie McLeod, who's our master blender. And the Dewars 15-year-old was really sort of developed around the idea of a lot of Chinese, sort of Asian style flavors. So green tea was a big influence for this one. So it's very floral, very sweet, still carries through those sort of Dewars honey characteristics. Very light, like citrusy notes, lemon peel. But again, kind of having some of those sort of dried fruity characters coming through as well. But yeah, I find this much more kind of light, but still kind of quite smooth. And I'd say versatile as well, Greg. Like versatility is the key thing here, because tell us a little about the cheese we're going to be pairing this with.
Genuinely couldn't have picked a better way of leading into that. The versatility of the whiskey matches in perfect harmony the versatility of this floppy number. I think we all recognise it from McDonald's, or indeed any other high street.
Or your backdoor barbecue.
Backdoor barbecues.
Or should we say outdoor barbecues? I'm not sure if I want to barbecue my back door.
That might hurt. But I did get what you meant.
Yeah.
Backyard.
Backyard.
But that floppiness, that kind of, it feels like you could
It
probably,
kind of mould into anything really.
you could probably dress a wound with that. It's that kind of cheese.
Yeah, I mean you could probably use it as like a sort of an eye patch.
Yeah.
Or
oh god, yeah. I'll give you
yeah.
your own
Okay.
there. So now mine's just flopped all over me. But yeah, the dexterity and the kind of, it's basically just above solid. Sorry, just above liquid to be that just solid.
I mean, how the fuck do you get into this? Excuse my language. Where's the opening?
The arrows.
Okay, yeah.
And then imagine there's an opening.
Oh, there you go. There we go.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you have to know what the secret entrance is.
You do.
It takes a bit of work, but I think it's worth getting to.
Which is also not too dissimilar to Dewars 15 because it's not available everywhere.
Exactly right. Yeah. So it's only available in certain countries.
Yeah. I'm going to try the 15 and then the cheese this time. That's a lovely nose on that. Good solid vanilla character. With that kind of honey and, as you said, the lemon citrus
Yeah.
oil. Beautiful.
But again, both, I think, all of these whiskies have a versatility. Whether you're making a whiskey highball or whiskey cocktails like the Dramble, you know, you can really go to town and sort of you've got a nice even playing field of flavors to sort of enhance and play with. So you can add little, you know, flecks of flavor.
And also, sorry, one additional bonus of this cheese is if you're in the bar and you do, you know, need to nip away from your drink, you can just flop it over, but you still get some air in the top. I mean, you've got some usefulness as well. This is
not your first convenience store gourmet rodeo, is it, Greg?
And it will not be my last. Not at all.
I mean, I think we should just put all the doors.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope you guys all enjoyed our convenience store gourmet session, and we want to hear from you. What convenience store gourmet food would you pair with whiskey? Leave a comment in the bottom, send us a video, make sure you tag Dramble_on Instagram and GreatDrams Greg, or on Twitter at GreatDrams, at Dewars, and just let us know, because we really do want to see what you come up with, and tell me if you enjoyed doing these pairings at home as well.
Just before we go, Greg,
Sure.
What did the cheese say to itself in the mirror?
Oh no.
Hello, me.
Awful. And with that, I want to hear from you, less of him.
Cheers, guys.
Until next time.